Hello and welcome. My name is Christina from Empowered Creator. I am a mindset and conscious manifesting teacher and coach, and this is my YouTube channel. Here I talk about all things law of assumption, mindset, conscious manifesting, the quantum universe, and a lot more. And my goal is to simplify everything without the fluff. So if you guys like this content and you would like to see more of it, I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel, comment on this video, like it, share it, and stick around. Also, if you need help with your specific situation, I offer one-on-one coaching as well as custom subliminals for whatever needs you may have. I also have some self-study courses about manifesting your specific person, and I do have a members-only channel with a lot of perks for members, including weekly live workshops with a different manifesting topic each week, weekly live group coaching, a lot of exclusive content, as well as monthly challenges for a chance to win a free one-on-one coaching session with me, and a lot more. So if you're interested in any of these services, the links are below in the description box. Click on them and they're going to take you to my website or to the membership channel. With all that being said, let's dive into today's video. In today's video, I wanted to talk about a few things that I wish I had known, that I wish someone had told me or explained to me when I was first starting out in manifesting. And these are mistakes, these are misconceptions and misunderstandings that I still see in a lot of people, especially those of you who are just starting out in your manifesting journey or who started recently, for example, in recent months. And these are things that I figured out on my own through a lot of trial and error. And I wish I had known sooner, because if I had, I think my manifesting journey would have been easier and simpler. So I'm here to give this to you guys to make your journey easier and simpler. So this is what I'll be discussing in today's video. Stay tuned. So without further ado, let me get to all the points that I want to illustrate today. Point number one. What was the first thing that I wish I had known when I was starting out in manifesting? One of the biggest things that I wish I had known is that it's not about the technique. It's not the technique that manifests, it's actually my state. I know a lot of you guys spend a lot of time worrying about the techniques, wondering if you're doing the technique right, what is the perfect technique, what is the perfect affirmation, should I affirm this or should I affirm that? Should I not affirm this? Is it wrong to affirm it this way? Should I affirm it that way instead? And you spend so much time and energy worrying about what is the perfect technique, how to do it right, changing your techniques over and over and over again, perfecting them, when all along, you guys, it's never been about the technique. All along and always and forever, it's always been and it's always going to be about your state, about who you are within, what is your dominant state, what is your dominant energy, what is your dominant perception about the situation, whatever is the situation that you're manifesting. And this, you guys, is what is going to manifest for you in your 3D experience. Your techniques, whatever techniques resonate with you, are fine. You can do them in whichever way feels good to you, whichever way feels natural to you. They are there to assist you to get into the state of the wish fulfilled, to shift your state, shift your perspective, shift your energy, shift the way in which you're seeing things, and so on. Because this, at the end of the day, is what is going to manifest. So please worry much less about the perfect technique or your techniques or what is the best technique and so on, and focus much, much more on how you feel about the situation, how you perceive the situation, what meanings are you giving it, and so on, because ultimately this is what is going to be reflected in your 3D experience. Point number two, another very important thing that I wish I had known, I wish someone had told me back when I was starting out in manifesting, was that I don't need to be perfect. I don't need to be in the perfect state all the time. In fact, because I'm human, I'm not going to be in the perfect state all the time. And I don't know any human who is always 24/7 in the perfect state all the time. So it has nothing to do with being happy all the time. It's not about you never wavering. It's not about you never spiraling. If I had $1 for each time I spiraled over my spiraling, in my first year of conscious manifesting, thinking that I always had to be in the perfect state and obsessing and worrying that I've destroyed my manifestation now that I spiraled and now that I wavered, and that causing me to spiral even worse and for even longer amounts of time, I would be a billionaire by now. It's not about always being in the perfect state. It's not about always being happy. It's not about always being in this perfect vibration, in this amazing cloud nine situation and mental condition. No, it's much more about the knowing Number one, that things are working out for you, that things are going well for you. And number two, about continuously transcending your triggers, continuously adjusting your ways in which you're viewing reality, continuously adjusting your perceptions and your perspectives by which you see reality and the meanings that you give to whatever pops up in your 3D, because ultimately this is what manifests. And knowing that even some wavering here and there, even some spiraling here and there is okay, and it's not going to cost you your manifestation. It's not ruining anything. It's not destroying anything. You are still getting what you want. So it's not about perfection, it's about continuous expansion. It's about continuous expansion of your consciousness, of who you are in your reality, in this world that is actually bringing in the results of your manifested desires. Another thing that I wished someone had told me when I was a beginner manifester to save me from a lot of trouble, a lot of hassle, a lot of grief to actually discover it on my own eventually, is that there is not one specific method or one specific technique that works better than the others. I know there are many coaches out there who are promoting their own methods. They are telling you guys that my method is superior than the others. This is why the others don't work. This is why mine is working. And ultimately, you have to realize that they're only talking from their own perspective, from their own personal experience, from their own opinion, and from a point of view that is not necessarily your point of view. That means that if for someone, affirmations is their preferred method, for someone else, it can be visualizing. And both of these methods work equally well according to how they resonate with each individual person. Some people love scripting and they see amazing results with scripting. Other people cannot stand it. Both are okay. If you love scripting and you see results with scripting, go ahead and do it. If you hate scripting, you never have to do it. And this goes for every other manifesting method, every other technique. Remember what I said in point number one. These are just tools to get you into your state of the wish fulfilled, to help you shift your state and shift your inner energy. They are not things that manifest in and of themselves. You manifest. Who you are within is what manifests. So pick the techniques that you want, pick what's most natural for you, pick what resonates best for you, and run with that. And I'm saying this because I too, as a beginner, like many other people I'm sure, spent some crazy amounts of time going from teacher to teacher, reading another book, this book, that book, watching this coach, watching that other coach, and trying to figure out what method works better, until I ultimately figured out that it's me who decides what works better, and it's me who decides what resonates with me and what doesn't. Another thing that I wish someone had told me when I was first starting out in conscious manifesting, manifesting is not doing the techniques. A lot of people get confused and they say, I've been manifesting, meaning I've been doing the techniques, and sure, that is part of that. Using your imagination, working with your imagination is a part of that, but ultimately you are doing that because you want to arrive at a certain mental and emotional condition that actually somehow aligns with what you want to achieve, what you want to experience in your 3D. And this is why you hear a lot of people saying, I've been manifesting for 2 years, for 3 years, and my desire is still not here. This is because these people are confused about what manifesting actually means, and what they mean is that I've been doing the techniques for 2 years, 3 years. However, most likely these people have not achieved an inner shift. Most likely these people are still mentally and emotionally attached in terms of their state and their energy, in other words, to their old reality, to their old self, to the old version of whatever the situation was. So manifesting, you guys, is not just using your imagination, not just doing the techniques, but to a very large extent, who you are within. How you view your situation, how you view your reality. What are your expectations? What are your perceptions? What meanings are you giving to the 3D? How you feel about what you're manifesting, what you're assuming about what you're manifesting, what you're thinking about what you're manifesting, and so on and so forth. So yes, imagination is one part of it. That is the creative part of manifesting. But ultimately, manifesting is so much more than that. Manifesting is who you are within that gets projected outside of you, and then the world reflects back to you essentially what is within you. So definitely keep that in mind, because you have to be paying attention to who you are being, who you're showing up as in your day-to-day life, because this is what manifests your experiences in the 3D, and this is what is going to continue manifesting your experiences in the 3D. And last but not least, one thing that I wished I had known when I was starting out with manifesting, when I was a beginner like many of you, is that these teachings are actually true and accurate. When I was starting out, you guys, I used to think, at least part of me used to think, that these are things that the manifesting coaches are telling us, perhaps to make us feel better, perhaps to motivate us, perhaps to keep us moving forward, perhaps even to sugarcoat things for us. I didn't actually think at that time that those teachings were actually true and accurate and literal. However, as I started implementing the law in my day-to-day life, as I started seeing and observing for myself through a lot of trial and error, admittedly, how things work, what works, what doesn't work, how my reality works, how the universe operates, I started noticing and understanding and realizing that the teachings were actually literal. When coaches say circumstances don't matter, it's because they actually don't matter. If you don't make them matter, they truly do not matter. When coaches say anything is possible, it truly is that anything is possible. When you hear, for example, that imagination creates reality, it is because truly what is within you, in your head, in your heart, in your assumptions, in your expectations, in your perceptions of reality, is actually truly and really and literally what you get to experience in your 3D reality. So all the teachings, you guys, are not just true and real, but they're actually literal and they're very, very accurate. I wish I had known that as a beginner manifestor, because I spent a lot of time in the beginning, probably my first year and a half, thinking that these teachings were just maybe sugarcoating reality, or maybe people trying to make a point and so making this point as exaggerated as possible. And then as I came to practice manifesting and as I became more and more advanced myself, I came to realize more and more that these teachings are actually literal. They are not metaphors. They're not points just to make a point and just to exaggerate a point. They are true, real, accurate, and literal teachings. So I hope these points have helped you move forward in your manifesting. I hope they have given you a different perspective with which to view conscious manifesting, because that was my goal out of this video. And I hope that you start putting your focus and your attention on all the right things that are actually going to boost your manifesting and bring you your desired results. With all that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I intend that this has helped. As always, I very much appreciate you guys being on this channel, watching this content. I love making this content for you. And as always, I look forward to seeing you all at the next video. Until then, take care and bye-bye.